Hello. Happy Monday. My name is Chris Farah. Welcome to my YouTube and or Twitch, however you are watching this, my bays. And let's get into last night's or Fridays if you're watching 90 Day Fiancé on either Discovery Plus or on TLC and Cable Land. The last episode, the latest episode of, again, 90 Day Fiancé. We are happily ever after or not. I mean, they really got to change the name of the show, honey, because as we see, these couples are not happily ever after. They are happily ever after single, maybe at some point. Hi there. Yes. Hello, people coming in the room. Having a moment on a Monday. Super into it. Also, what's happening with my hair? Not quite sure. You know, this is what happens when you play with your hair right before you go live. Why am I talking so fast? A lot of coffee. A lot of coffee. I love all you guys. Hello, hello. I'm so happy to see you. I hope you're having a good Monday. Okay. She's going to uncross her legs. She's going to move into frame. She's going to pull up her notes. She's going to get into this episode. Wow, what an episode with a lot of things. This was a good episode. I mean, this is a good episode of a bad season. I think I've made it pretty clear that I hate this season, but it's a good episode of a bad season. Things went down. Most notably, obviously, Andre and Charlie. But let's get into Mike and Natalie first, shall we? Oh, I love a Monday afternoon stream. Good. Oh my gosh. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to see you. Yeah, so excited to see you all. Hi, baby boos. Okay. This Mike and Natalie scene is like one thing, and then Juliana is, I mean, the star of this season. I can't believe it. I mean, okay, well, I'm just going to obviously break it down. Juliana and Natalie have just arrived back to Mike's house in Squim, honey. And Natalie, for some reason, also like hoped that she would just be able to come in with a rolly backpack suitcase and not have Mike there, and then just like pack all her things and like take her rat in the night and like peace out. But Mike is there. Mike is there, honey. So the episode picks up with like a with her big eyes, like, you're here, you know, and Natalie's like, booyah. So she gets her rat, right? That rat they got, you know, that she just like became a mother of and just like frankly quickly abandoned. And it's just like having this moment with the rat whose name is Pulia being like, who is so sweet? Pulia, 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 Pulia. You know, and Mike's just like, so what's happening? Are you in? Are you out? And she's out. Obviously, it's obvious that she's out. She's literally out so hard that she has brought a suitcase. It doesn't have to be asked, are you out? It's pretty like assumed. She's not going to be like, no, I'm not out. Like Juliana and I are just going to go like on a little vacation for the rest of my life with her. I don't know what to tell you. So I feel like as Natalie is like as like Natalie's packing, as we're watching her getting ready to leave, and Mike is just like there. I wonder if Beau is like peeking in through like one of the windows being like, can't wait to get back to my room. You know, like I need to see Beau's reaction. Just like, oh, you know, like his eyes aren't really that open though. And his teeth not as hard. Oh, yay. I love you guys. So nice to see you all. I know I'm just going to keep going to my audience peoples and be like, look at all of our friends that are here. Okay, so thank you. So Natalie gets her stuff, right? You know, like obviously, as I said, she's like played with the rat. It's really awkward. They've had this conversation where Mike said, are you in, are you out? Are you in, or are you out? It's very obvious that she's already out. And he like tries to like guilt her into staying, being like, so that's it. But then being like, and I want to be like, yeah, you both are in a toxic relationship. Let her go. Obviously. Like, why are you even acting like you are either like melancholy about it or like lamenting like she should stay out of guilt or pity? Like it's, at this point, your mom hates her and you've taken your mom's side. Like what, I mean, Mike acts like he wants Natalie to stay, is my point. And I don't understand because Beau wants her to leave. Beau wants his bedroom back. His side of the bed. Anyway, I love you. I'm just playing. But whatever. Natalie like doesn't really talk. There's a lot of like Natalie and Mike scenes again where it just has become their trademark of these long looks, unanswered questions, silences that we have just been having to like has been forced on us, like from both people. Just like a lot of like, God, get off my screen. That's fine. But Natalie does. Then, my loves, let's break it down. Juliana comes in. She's like there, standing, honey, with her wrap around her forehead. All right. And Mike is there. And she's like, Mike, can I use your bathroom? We're all like, oh my God. First of all, like Juliana, like, no, I know you might have to pee, honey, but like, find. I mean, there must be not one place. Like Squim, I guess she has to go in the bushes, honey. I mean, at this point, like I would not have entered this house. I would have just, first of all, so many thoughts. What I have to say is if you're ever on a long road trip, or if you're like someone who's like, yeah, taking a road trip or camping or whatever, and you are a person that identifies as having female pee parts, okay, you need to get yourself a Go Girl, which is like a funnel situation that you can put around your lady parts, and it streamlines peeing when it's not in the best or most comfortable environments. And Juliana should not have gone into this house with Mike. But Mike's just like, yeah, you can use my bathroom. It's over there. You can take my wife. You know, and Juliana like goes and uses the bathroom. The editors of this episode leave every ASMR experience for us to hear of this woman. Not every ASMR, I mean, like, but you know, like there's no, thank God, like there was a moment where I was like, what are we gonna hear? Are we gonna hear a tinkle? Are we gonna hear a plop? Are we gonna hear like, I mean, what are we gonna hear? Because they like kept washing of the hands. And I was like, this is too much. And especially because the tension is already at a high and no one is making any noises. Not even Puglia, you know, like, and definitely Natalie didn't take Puglia, right? I would have just taken Puglia if I was her, just to be like, this is mine, you know, and being like, and I'm going to keep, you know, my children safe or whatever. And just like, if I don't want that rat, honey, just like 20 yards out of Mike's house, just be like, you're free, just like me. I'm Natalie, I'm free. One other thing about Natalie, honey, is after this moment, she becomes like a poet. She's like, I cannot talk, so I will just walk. Long silence, where in her head, she's just like, that rhymed. Later on, she's like, I am like a bird that had a gunshot and cannot fly and then has to learn to fly again. Like, I mean, you're just like, oh God. And she really got into this, like on her Instagram, like these long, like expressions of pain and sorrow and rebirth and phoenix like rising. It's so, I got a little called out, side note. And if you guys are part of Vanity Fair on Facebook, I will just say that I had a little fun at Natalie's expense because I like went through her Instagram recently and took some pictures. And she, I mean, you know, she like thinks really highly of herself, but I think that we all should. You know, she's an interesting one to like, you know, like take that in. And I think I might have been a little petty in a post on Vanity Fair, taking screenshots of some of her Instagram posts and sharing because, you know, she is a creature of interest. To see how her mind works, just like, but maybe any pettiness I have in her is because I am, you know, and I know this, and I want you to understand. Maybe because I am seeing inside her something that I don't like about myself, and that is why I'm being petty. So I think that she has like a diluted sense of grandeur about herself, because sometimes she acts like, yeah, you know, like she is a little too big for her britches. And I must have some sort of deep-seated fear and or feeling like I do too, right? Because I recognize that immediately and I'm like kind of wanting to make fun of it at all times. But like even her posing and her like perusing her lips and pushing her lips out and posing, I see it and I do that. I do that. And I want to just have this moment because, I'm human, but I want to call it out, but I'm evolved enough to understand that it's not the best nor it's right. And I think that it's because of like the following. But you know what I'm saying? So let me just go back to what is actually happening. Juliana comes back out of the bathroom and then she's like, Mike, can I say a couple of words? Honey, I was holding on to my chest and I was like, what are the words going to be? My God, I hope the words are, you need more expensive two-ply toilet paper. Like I really needed like, or, do you have a wet wipe? Do you have any poopery? Like okay, like that was too much. But what she wants to say is like, she wants to give him comfort. And Mike wants none of it. He doesn't want this woman in his house. He wants to listen to his cat purr because the cat knows that Natalie left and the cat never liked Natalie. And he wants the moment that Natalie starts her engine, the cat's, I know, gonna go like this to the window. And Mike's gonna be like, you are right. That's what he wants that moment. But Juliana is messing it up. Okay. So Juliana's like, I wrote everything down. Well, I didn't write everything down because it really didn't make any sense. She's just me to say that. So she like is like coming to comfort him and she goes, hold to yourself, okay? And later on, she gets in the car and Natalie's like, did you talk to Mike? She's like, yes, I did talk to Mike. I did the work we had to do. And Natalie's like, what did Mike say? Or what did you say? And she's like, oh, I just told Mike, and she's speaking in Russian, to stay strong. And I want to be like, girl, you did not. You didn't say that. I love you so much. I only speak like literally barely one language, but like also I love you so much. Hold yourself is like, not maybe that. But yeah, she gets so close to Mike in this moment of her wanting to give comfort to someone who does not want her there. It's so awkward. And at some point I'm like, are you just so awkward because you like either A, want to be on TV or you've inserted yourself in this drama, and C, you kind of like the fact that you become this other lady or taking Mike's girlfriend away or wife away? Or D, are you so awkward that you really had to pee so much that you feel like you have to give him like something of you because he gave you A, his wife, he's right, and his bathroom? So you have to be like, and here's a piece of me. I wanted Juliana to be like, here you go, Mike. This has given me such power. I gave that to you, and Mike just puts on his like new headband piece. This was, I think, I'm going to put on record that this scene was the scene of the season for me. Like I could watch it a billion times. Like it seemed the craziest thing that is like old school, a scene that I have been waiting for on 90 Day from seasons past, which is such a difference of like A, culture, because these people are different cultures, and also B, of like awkwardness that being privy to it feels like a sin to watch. But at the same time, that's what Sharp Entertainment got for us. Juliana, when she then decides to hug Mike, I cannot tell you, hugs his hat off, his baseball cap off with the logo still attached, has to like put it back on him, and then decides, no, I'm going to even do more. Then decides to pet the cat that hates Natalie. And that cat smelled them fingers coming at that cat, honey. I'm surprised those fingers are still there. I'm surprised that cat wasn't just like Wolverined Juliana. like, I love this scene. I want to talk about it for the rest of my life. Okay. But I don't want to tell you. I think I know I have to move on. Yeah. She hugs the cat, tells the cat, you're a good cat, which we all know is not a good cat. And then Juliana leaves, gets in the car, like I said, has a conversation with Natalie about what happened. And Natalie, gets comforted by Juliana having swept up the mess after she left. Oh, I don't know what to say about it. I love it so much. I don't know. I would have thought, wait, I don't know. I would have thought Mike and Julia would be a good match. Julia, smart and classy. Oh, okay. And Mike, working class and butch. Mm. They make a great team together. Yeah, he's butch, but he's a mama's boy. But that Juliana seems like she has more strength in this scene to her. Like, and okay, Julia's smart and classy. Huh. I love you so much. Yeah, I mean, like those are maybe like subjective connotations of what you think. I mean, I don't know. I love you so much. I wouldn't agree. But, like, I think that she's a lot of things. I don't like smart. I don't know, maybe classy. Well, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure, honey. If I were you, class to me isn't like going in and like using that like porta potty. I would just be like, oh my God, I gotta wait. I'll just like hold her away, honey, or just I'll go girl. I mean, I would rather go girl for my self-esteem, even though it's technically not classy, than like coming into that house and then like wanting something from him and then extending that scene. That is just, oh my God, I can't. I mean, it's the kind of moment where if I was in it, I wouldn't know what to do. No, I think that I would have just been like, Juliana would have like, okay, if I was Mike, Juliana would have come in and been like, do you mind if I use my bathroom? I would have been like, sure. She goes. And I think that the minute that I realized that she came out of the bathroom and wasn't going to immediately leave, in fact, wanted to talk, I would not have let that happen. And that's what's different between me and Mike and why I'm a little more masculine, I think, because Mike just sits there and Mike just sits there and just lets this moment happen and like it is his home. So he should have just sort of stood up and then like helped her just kind of like get to the door, like, thank you so much. Thanks for taking my wife. Are you guys all your stuff? But like he just sits there. No one leaves your house as a host while you just sit there. It's an awkward situation. So he like allowed it to happen, the sound effect of the toilet flushing and everything. Yeah. No, it was just like, I also think that, not a lot of sound is happening for the past like 5 minutes. Like there wasn't a lot of like talking happening. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. That's true. And also, aloha and happy Monday from Oahu. Okay. Let's move on, my loves. Libby and Andre. And Buki and Becky and Chuck and Charlie. Okay. I've actually avoided a lot of their segments this whole season because the fact that mostly it's fake, but I can tell obviously this is the big cliffhanger or this is a big moment of this episode. So it's like, I have to talk about it and I will. Like I'll try. I actually try to bring as many details as possible, knowing that all this is fake and I truly hate it. So at this point, we know that Chuck has invited his family again to his house for some sort of cookout, which is like not the connotation of cookout we know, my loves, because they're all just boring, like white trash people. So it's not really cookout. So he's like, and this is why I hate this, because it's the same situation as like literally you've had like 3 other times of like, let's get the family all together and squash this beef, and it's like, no, because you keep trying it, it's so dumb and it won't work. Oh my goodness gracious. And thank you so much for my super chat. Yay, I appreciate it. That's so sweet. Ugh. Thank you so much. I really love you. You know what? It's a super sticker. And because I'm streaming, I can't see exactly what it is. Will you guys describe it? I just like looking at like, how bouncy this hair is, and it's like, I have finally gotten, not right now because I didn't use it. Okay. So don't use my hair right now as an example, but it's like your hair in this picture is like what I've gotten to achieve using a Dyson air wrap. But see, I want everyone to see, and I wish I could make her sticker bigger. Or I'm sorry, I can't make her YouTube thing bigger. But look at Anne's volume, right? Look at the volume of her hair. That is the kind of volume that you can achieve with the Dyson Airwrap styler. So it's why it looks like a blowout. You know, I'm not saying that Anne uses that, but it's just like I'm cognizant of like, God, that looks like, yeah, what on my best day using that styler with all of the like attachments and knowing how to use it, that's what it looks like. Okay. I knew Charlie was going to get dragged. Andre has been waiting to beat his ass. Okay, so, well, why it's hilarious again is because like Chuck is always like now one of these other like, let's get the family together, squash this beef, and it's like that continually doesn't work and just gets worse and worse and worse. And this is so fake, and I can't believe that you guys can't think of like one other new storyline to have done. Like, why is it the same? Like, this feels like weird deja vu. Okay. So, oh, by the way, will you subscribe to this video and will you like this video? Oh my God, I forget to ask. We are 20 minutes in. We are 21 minutes in. This is where I get mad at myself. That's like something that I have to like say more often, like at the beginning, so people actually do it. And then just like I upload videos and there's like 2 likes. The live videos, because the people who are beautifully here with me forget to like it. And then even though I feel like you guys are enjoying yourselves, and if you're not enjoying yourselves, dislike it, thumbs down it, and I still will I'll get the hint. But truly just take a moment and thumbs it up if you don't mind. Also, my God, Jane, thank you so much for this amazing super chat. Jane, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I mean, both of you, but thank you so much. That's so nice. And I really just warms my heart. Okay. I have to get back to the scene. So Andre and Libby show up first. Chuck is there. They are drinking Dom Perignon. They're drinking in champagne. Chuck has kind of been like, Andre, I know, you're not the problem. Andre, you're like, better than everyone else in my team. That's like my stupid ass family. Like, you're like more responsible. Like, you get things done. Underlying message is that there has been some squabbles in between Chuck and Charlie. Like, maybe like Charlie doesn't get things done. Charlie is like a little bit of an Peter Pan F up, or just feels like he should get paid to do nothing or whatever. And there's moments of Chuck and Charlie, which kind of reminds me of Joe Gorga and his dad, when Joe Gorga, again, was so mad that his dad had taken Joe Giudice's side early on in problems in their family. God. Okay. So, I'm talking about for any Real Housewives of New Jersey fans. And so if I'm talking about, give me a little Italian flag in them comments, my loves. Aspasia, thank you. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about all of it. Okay. No, Becky's husband is that other blonde guy. We're going to talk about the bouncer guy in a second. Okay. So let me go back here because I want to talk about this. Okay. So then they're drinking champagne. This is the setup. And then Becky comes in. And Becky and her husband. And Becky's husband is like a white blonde guy with kind of like shaved head. He supposedly works like in some other business or whatever. Becky comes in hot, honey, and is just like, what's that? Champagne? What are you, another like, you're toasting over some business deal, some work situation? They're like, no, we're just drinking Dom Perignon. Whatever. And then like Becky's like, well, I don't even want champagne. I just want wine. I'm gonna go pour myself some wine. Okay. And she's just like hates her life, hates everyone else's life. So Andre's like getting heated about that or whatever. And then she comes in, honey, and then Buki comes in. Okay, so Becky's already come in now. Buki comes in now. Buki's name is Jen. I've realized. Okay, now it's taken me this long. Buki is Jen. I'd rather call her Buki. Comes in, and Buki usually is really upset, but Buki's kind of like chill. I think she's gotten her hair done. She feels like whatever. And she's also just like coming in kind of hot at her dad, being like, I don't even talk to you anymore. Like, literally, who are you? Like you don't care about me. You don't care about us. You don't call me except for what? More like family cookouts, whatever. It's not a cookout. So Buki like sits down, honey. And then Charlie comes in with his wife, who I now know is named Megan. It took me this long to understand these people's names. There's too many. I don't care. And he comes in also hot and like says something. I mean, this was like so fast. He says something along the lines of like, cops are gonna be called or whatever, and just like walks up to Andre, and then Andre like just starts yelling, and they kind of attack each other. Honey, they're on the ground, and then at this point, a bodyguard runs in, and I am like, who is that person? He's a very tall, very big, black, very security-looking security guard person looking. That at first I was like, is that a member of the production team? Is that like because there have been reality shows, obviously, that where physical confrontations happen, there's members of the crew that have been assigned to limit the liability of like insurance or whatever by having people on set to like not have people kill each other or whatever. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I really tried to make these like specific, but like it was happened so fast. Yeah, he said, "I'm here. Call the cops." Megan was defending her husband, Charlie. That's why Charlie has anger issues. Yes. So they altercate. You know what I'm saying? They are altercating. Okay. I think that's Jen's husband. Jen's husband is that security guard, gentlemen? With the mask? Well, why would... Is that what you guys are talking about? Like, you're not telling me the truth. That's not it. Yeah, that person was security for production. I don't know who else it could be. Yeah, my loves. That's not... I mean, well, because he had a mask on. So, like, why would every part of this family be here for this cast show and he have this, like, K95 mask? It feels like he, like, has been hired to be there. That's why I say that. So anyway, you know, Andre has a huge mouth and probably the smallest. No, I've seen it. Like a medium-sized dick. And, no. Yeah. I love you guys are being like, that is not her ex. Yeah. Okay. That gentleman is obviously a security guard. Let's just, yeah, that person is not Jen's ex. Okay. So, her husband was the guy at the front door on with the bouncer and yeah. Okay. So, now what happens is the family is in different nooks of the house, right? And Andre is, honey, like not shirtless, but like all his like shirt is like unbuttoned and he's like right here and he's very hot and heated, right? And now it's been turned on him because like Chuck's kind of like, you can't like lunge at my son, like in my house, like he's still my son or whatever. And Andre is like feeling a certain way or whatever. And Libby has also now gotten, and during this kerfuffle between Andre and Charlie's wife, Megan, comes and tries to get at Andre, who's hitting or attacking her husband. And Libby tries to get at Megan, and Megan scratches Libby. Now, Megan has done nothing this whole season except show up to a family meeting with the craziest one-shoulder flamingo shirt that I have ever seen. And now she like comes in hot, like a Jerry Springer, you know, or like some sort of audience member into this situation where she's screaming at everyone how this family is like trash or whatever, and how her and her husband are like so wronged and whatnot. And while the you know, come off happens and they're in different situations, they're still screaming at each other. And the security person is really only getting at Andre. Like he's like not trying to like stop Charlie. And it's because, by the way, I have to always pause between Chuck and Charlie because I can't like, I have a moment where I'm like, wait, which one's which? For some reason, it's hard for me to remember because they both are father and son. They both have the same name, and it's obviously a nickname. So again, I should just call him like Charlie Boy or something like that. So Charlie Boy ends up leaving with his wife, Megan. Like they speed off in the middle of the night. And I feel like that night is when they made their OnlyFans. I feel like those people just sped off, honey, and just rage effed all night long, made a bunch of videos and were like, screw this family. Screw everyone. We're opening an OnlyFans. We're getting our money. And I don't have to like flip anything for my dad. I never really liked working anyway. My name is Charlie Boy, you know? And Megan was like, I need new one-shouldered shirts for family business a day. You know, like, I don't know, but these people are not it. They go home. Andre is feeling a certain way. They're kind of mad at Andre. They kick Andre out of the house, you know, like it's very Asuelu and his mom, you know, because Andre can't get his like feelings together. And Libby is also like, you're not listening. You're not paying attention, you know, because for some reason this family just like, well, it's because it's all fake. They want to like, you know, like have all this drama. And then once someone pops off, be like, how did this happen? Honey, you can't load the gun. Blame me for pulling the trigger. You know, I don't know. So, and Megan drove. No license, Charlie. Charlie's had like multiple DUIs, so. Also like possession of like controlled substances. So easily that's not a problem. So I love it. Okay. Okay, so the last moment of this Libby situation is Buki. So then Libby is like hanging by the, you know, Libby's there with her like dad and Buki is there and they're kind of like talking about what just happened. And Buki has isolated Kourtney Kardashian's voice in such a way that I thought I was like had somehow like patched into like an old like Keeping with the Kardashian episodes. Like there is that I'm having little hiccups. Lazy Kardashian way of, it's not lazy. It's, you guys, I don't know. Like, it's like this, whatever. It's that kind of talk. It's slow. There's a slowness to it, like a vocal fry also, and just a nasal quality that is like, yeah, it's the guy. I don't know. I wish I could be like a sort of linguist to truly understand like what's happening with that kind of voice. But lethargic is a good word. Lethargic is a good word. Because you know what? Yeah, I'm so happy you said that, because in this scene, Buki is sitting down. And it always feels like this kind of voice happens best when someone is sitting down, most notably lounging, maybe even like on a cloud couch. You know, like it needs one of those, like, my like feet are tucked in and I'm comfortable talking about what's happening. You know, it's like, it's such an interesting thing. Having said that, anytime I'm petty, it's because I see something within someone that I can also call out, which is I know that I have a bunch of different vocal challenges. Like I know that I say like every other sentence. So it isn't like I think I'm, you know, better than anyone else. I'm not. None of us are. We might as well call each other out when we can. In a way, it doesn't feel like I'm calling them out on their own personal pages. If they happen to come to me and want to hear my opinion on them, that's what's happening. Also, and I keep threatening this, I'm going to say there's a point of my life where I think I might have to make every live a password protected link and only have that access to people that I feel like are going to understand I'm not horrible. Okay, let's move on to Asuelu and Kalini. And well, unfortunately, Kaluni was in this episode, which was weird because her whole family was there. And then we start this episode and like Lo's gone again, honey. Kaluni's gone. But we open with Kalani's mom and Kalani and Asuelu having this morning after conversation, which makes me feel like it didn't happen the morning after. Because why wouldn't Kaluni be there? Having breakfast with all of them talking. So, because Kaluni like doesn't always live there. I don't understand. Kaluni said she was going to move in, and then Kaluni like lives there sometimes and doesn't live there, like comes in, comes out. I'm a little confused on my Kaluni timeline. But Kaluni and Kalani's mom tells Kalani and Asuelu that, you know, she wants to move the house. She wants to move. She's too far away from Lo, her husband. which makes sense because her husband has to spend time in California where he works. But she doesn't want to move to California. She wants to just move closer to California. This is such a weird thing. Because it's like, okay, I get if you want to live with your husband, you're like married, you know? But then you're not actually going to live with your husband. You're actually just going to move to, I'm assuming, listen, you already in Utah. So if you're going to move closer to California, but not in California, you're going to move to Nevada or Arizona. That's what that means. Basically, what would be closer? Maybe some parts of New Mexico? I mean, I don't know. But no, not necessarily. In Utah, it's above Nevada, kind of. I don't know geography, whatever, God bless. So, okay. So I don't know. That seems whatever shady. However, it's like so interesting because, okay, so this, let me say this. So this brings them problems because Kalani and Asuelu don't have enough money to move on by themselves. And they've been living there, you know, obviously, and don't have the funds or whatever. And this was always like a moment I was like, yeah, you aren't paying for this house. So I never understood why when Tammy came into the house, it was like, look at this house, look at this house. You owe us more money, Asuelu. Why someone wasn't just like, no, this house they don't have, this is not his house. This is not their house. They are being gifted this by Kalani's family because your son and husband brother has no money. He has no money. And so he's already being helped by us. This is what I feel like this was not ever said. We're already giving him this. He has nothing. So no, he can't give things to you. And no, you can't walk in here being like, your brother/son has this. He doesn't have this. No, we have this. So if you are looking at me dead in the face and saying that you want us to give you money, well, we're not, my love, your family. We're a Samoan family over here doing us. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Yana, my God. Hope you're having a great summer. I am having a great summer. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are so generous. That's so lovely and really, really sweet. It's incredibly gracious, and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Yana. I love you always. Yana's someone who's like been around for a minute. And yeah. Thank you for your support. I'm always happy to see you here. Thank you so much. And I hope all is good with you too. I know. Love you. Queens. Queen from Queens. Okay, so back to the show. Asuelu decides to go with his friend Tui, who has interesting teethies, to a break room situation and to get some of his rage out for like his situation with his mom and sister. I want to do this so bad. This looks so much fun. Have you ever gone into one of these break rooms or whatever, rage rooms, if you will, however you call them, and broken things? I know there's a place in Los Angeles called Break Room where they do the axe throwing, which is something else that I actually have done, would absolutely do again, have talked about. I love that axe throwing. But yeah, you can rent a room where you either bring in your own materials to break, or they have things, and you get to wear protective gear and get at it with hammers. Well, I don't know. So I've seen some hammers. I think maybe they have different things to hit, right? Because I think, yeah, hammers is one, but also baseball bats is a whole other thing. And I wonder if they're like wooden baseball bats or if they're steel baseball bats. It feels like it should be steel just because it feels like it'd be safer. But you just get to break small things, big things, electronics, dishes, ceramics. I mean, doesn't that sound thrilling? Like, doesn't it sound energy releasing? It's so funny because I really want to do this. And I totally get both sides of this. So quick friend story is I wanted to do this. And so I also thought that I had a friend that would love to do this too. My friend who I thought would love to do this too. I really, truly was like, oh, this is like made for this girl. I think that she's going to be so into it. I think that she likes like, you know, breaking things. I also thought it was funny because she usually like, when she's been drinking, she is someone who gets like, wants to like fight, not fight in a bad way, but she gets like over the top physical, and she actually has like fallen and breaking things of her own body. And so like, anyway, the point of the story is this person had a birthday and I was like, oh, like let's go to break room and just like get it out, just like have so much fun, just like whatever. And she was like, oh, actually, I don't want to. I don't want to like kind of get myself energetically into a place of that. And I was like, she said it like her own way or whatever, like that's like the gist of what she said. And I got that. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. No, I can totally see that too. Like why, if you're not in that place of wanting to like maybe that would be like also like anxiety ridden and jarring for you. Like, yeah. Like sensorily, like I can see that too. And so I'm bringing this up because who would you be? Can you see both sides of this? Would it give you anxiety to like be in that situation? Or would you just have to pick the time and place in your life where sometimes maybe it would and sometimes it would be therapeutic? I don't know. I think that I have moments like this, what John said, always so tempted to walking through a China department. Oh my God, yes. Like there's just sometimes like a destructive nature that like you get a craving of. It hits you like a little like, oh, yes, I would in some sort of like other dimension or fantasy just hack at this display at this nice Macy's, honey, and break every lolly possible. I'm not going to do it, but like, like I will for a moment, like Ally McBeal, have like a flashback fantasy or whatever, not a flashback, like a fantasy where I do it. And then for a moment I like am like staring at it and then someone's like, Chris, and I'm like, oh yeah. Like that movie moment or TV moment. I said Ally McBeal because that spoke to me. Also, I just aged myself hardcore. Like I could see that happening. It'd be good post-divorce therapy. Yeah. Okay, so dining in the dark is fun. Oh, wait. Oh, I missed that. Oh, wait. Sorry, my loves. I've never done that. It sounds interesting though, but actually, the weird thing is of all the things like heights and whatnot, maybe I shouldn't say this in public, but like, I don't like the dark. I don't like the dark. I don't like it. I know that in like a dining in the dark situation, it would be in a controlled environment where I would just have to like kind of like, I'm okay. Obviously, no one's gonna like kill me in this dark room. There's food here. Also, I like food. Maybe I could get myself to that mental state, but I'm just being honest. Sometimes they give you multiple plates to break. Yeah, like, oh my God. Okay, well, honey, moussaka for all at a Greek restaurant. I'll like break some plates. Okay, so Tui, we think Tui being Asuelu's friend who is like, yes, Samoan and was born there, has also lived in America for a minute. Like maybe he would give him like some sound advice. This is the advice he gives him. He gives him the advice that like, Asuelu, basically your mom's your mom. So you have to do it. You have to give her money. Also, have you ever thought about moving to Samoa? I disagree with both these advices. It can be problematic to say to someone, well, your mom's your mom. At the end of the day, your mom's your mom. Because at the end of the day, you need to take care of yourself. And at the end of the day, your mom is your mom. It is a presupposing situation. It presupposes that this person, your MOM, has interests or your interests at heart in some way, wants the best for you, wants you to be healthy in some way. It also presupposes, when you say this to anyone, that this person, your MOM, has bestowed on you like nourishment, life-giving love or warmth, support, like that kind of like healthy like it presupposes that you have been given things by someone that is unpayable and doesn't take into account any sort of challenges or struggles or trauma or whatnot anyone can have with a parent. It doesn't have to be a mom. Because you can easily say to someone, well, it's always going to be your dad. Your dad's your dad. Your mom's your mom. But I think that as I hear this person tell another person that's hurting, it's actually not sound advice, because it's not taking into account this person's experience. You can't know like all of that. It's better to leave your own judgments of how you think life should happen in your mind, and instead lead this person, or try to help to lead this person to the choice that is right for that person, and that person can sit with for the rest of their life. But listen, I'm not looking at Tui for like sound wisdom. Not everyone has it, my loves. Like, I'm looking at Tui, and I'm looking at his tooth. I'm sorry, but like that tooth was crazy. So he takes both of these things to heart, because Asuelu is, incredibly impressionable. So Asuelu then goes to like a lunchtime hangout date with his wife, Kalini. They're just like playing something in the park. And I was like, yeah, I better get in these like kid-free times alone while like your mom still lives there in that house with you. I'm going to be given this house and free babysitters, honey. Like, no mom, that mom is probably like, yeah, I won't live in California, but like, I also like don't want to be your babysitter anymore and have to like watch you guys in your lives. You're good. Can I just like, honey, move to like Nevada? I'm gonna like live in a casino. That's what I want my life to be. You can have your screaming kids back. That farty one smells all the time, honey. You can take them. Go on this last minute like picnic date. Throw a ball, honey, get your lives together. I'm out. That is like what Kalani's mom wants to do, and I don't blame her. So, but during this picnic date, my loves, they're like talking, and then like, Swaley drops his bombs. I want to still have a relationship with my mom, and I want to be able to give her money. And Kalani's like, okay. And then he's like, and I want us to move back to Samoa. I want you to be a real Samoan woman. Basically, I want you to also not respect my mom, which means I've tried this whole American thing, and I've been real good about it. I've been biding my time, but I'm over it, and I never really liked it. I want you to move to Samoa, where I and you will raise our kids, and you'll have to see my mom and Tammy all the time. Well, not Tammy, but my mom all the time, and you're going to have to just like it. And then we're going to be beholden to no one, to no money. So I don't have to worry about money. It'll make my life real easy. Blink, blink. And Kalani's like, no. It's a trick. No, thank you. No? I mean, like she had just won $20, but I want to be like, I would have just been like, okay, how about this? Instead of $20, absolutely not. Don't you ever bring it up again. So, yeah, Asuelu is very naive, like Tui said, and he, is like, this sucks in America. There's so many bills to pay. And in his mind, he just wants to buy some land, and he wants to like not have to pay any bills. I don't know how life works in Samoa, so I don't know how they're gonna get the water or electricity, or if those are just things that are like he didn't grow up with, he doesn't need them. So he wants to like have a farm with a bunch of kids, my loves, and then that's how he wants to be. It'll be easier for him because he doesn't have to worry about money. Because I get it. He has no money. He has no money for his own family. He definitely has no money for his mom. And he doesn't get why money has to even be a thing. In my mind, I'm like, okay, why can't you just guys, maybe this is easy. Like, you can farm on your land in Utah. You can like be a little more self-sustainable if you want. That does not happen here. Yes, you're gonna have to pay a water bill. Yes, you'll have to pay an electricity bill, but you can mitigate those by solar panels and stuff like that. I'm not quite sure. Listen, all of this, I'm not quite sure. But I think it would be very hard for anyone who didn't grow up in a place like Samoa to go there when you've already experienced some of the comforts of American living. Unless you are someone who naturally does not want those comforts or need those comforts anymore. There are, of course, people, I'm not saying every person that would ever be born in America like can't go live there, but I definitely don't feel like Kalani is someone who like has a natural personality to like not want responsibility or comforts. She wants them. And she would like him to take on more responsibility, and she'd like to enjoy the comforts, which of course will lead me over to like Tiffany and Ronald. But I love you guys. He just wants land with a coconut tree to live off. I mean, you know, that he's just like, yeah, like we just like grow our stuff. We have a bunch of kids. They grow up and they get to pick vegetables. It's like we get to like create our own little business. Clearly his mom didn't care for her kids either, since she was giving money to the church while her kids were hungry. God, it is such a messy situation when that part was revealed, wasn't it? So then we can talk about this. I want you to be a real Samoan woman. I want you to have 13 kids. This becomes a problematic conversation where basically Asuelu is inferring that his wife, Kalani, who is half Samoan, half white, born in America, is not a real Samoan woman because she, A, doesn't want to like be a baby factory at this moment in life, like isn't 100% like pop me full of them. And B, isn't just like, whatever you say, Asuelu. And also C, doesn't speak the language. And also D, which is a little bit of B, hates his mom. Because in his mind, if she was more, whatever you want, Asuelu, then she would also be like, whatever you want, Asuelu's mom. You know what I'm saying? So because of those four things, he's saying she is not a real Samoan woman. And she's like, I call BS. But the one thing that she feels like he does have over her is that she doesn't speak Samoan. And I felt that part hard because, you know, I'm like Syrian Lebanese, and I talk about that being a lot. I'm like Syrian Lebanese, 100%. I'm like not even like half. I'm like 100% Levantine or like whatever, you know, like that like region of the world. And I don't speak it. I don't speak Arabic. I'm like Yarabi Shuai, if you will. I know the good words, the bad words, the food words, and that's it. I can't conjugate. Honey, I'm not having conversational nothing. And I hate it. I hate it. And I know what it's like to be left out of conversations in social situations. And I know what it's like to feel less than or not as much of something, or looked at, I don't know. And this could be, again, something that I'm projecting on, but I feel like I have felt like looked down upon because I claim to be of a culture and don't know one of the basic tenets, which is a language. And it's a hard ass language, right? It's not even, it's a hard, weird ass language, mommy, with bunch of different characters. Honey, you read them the different way than American. I mean, it's a whole thing. And I have like wanted to learn it so bad, but it's just like overwhelming. And I mean, how good could I possibly get in a situation where I really would even be able to keep up? Is what I think. So it's so this part, and anyway, so this part's hard. And the funny things are, if we're talking about my culture, Syrian Lebanese thing, the things that he says that would make up a real Samoan woman are quote unquote values or traditional beliefs that could be carried upon for other cultures of old world origin, if you will, right? Like tenets of like traditional gender roles and homemaking, baby making priorities. But, you know, it's just hard because, you know, I think what we see here, which is why it's another great example to go from Tiffany to Ronald after them, is that these women want their men to be more capable than they are, either on a mental or active or physical way. Physical like capabilities of actually making things happen. And I don't think these men are are able to do it at the standards that these women want them to, and therein lies the rub. Because both men want to like somewhat have more say in their relationships and or somewhat have the final say, and they feel like they deserve it by birthright because like they look down and see what they do between their legs, right? And at the end of the day, naturally, like, oh, it's like what the guy's fault, like, you know, because he wants this and or whatever, he's not doing it right. But at the same time, it's like, well, how much do these women have known who they've married? And how much do you want someone to change? Like, how much are you thinking someone is that they're not? Like, I don't know the difference. So what I'm asking is, did they not know who their people were? Did they know who their people were and just thought they would change? It's a balance. You know, because it just breeds all this resentment and contempt. For Ronald and Tiffany, under my note for their whole segment, I just put bad times. They're having bad times. This is like, this season started, right? And one of these memes went around, right? Of it being like this. Tiffany just went on season 6, honey, to like show the world, you know, like what a deadbeat dad Ronald was, which definitely felt like what was happening. But as this season has gone on, yes, Ronald is not for me, not for like a father material. He's written off, honey. I don't think that it's good. I don't think it's right. I don't think that they should be together. And, you know, like he can't do it. But it just feels like Tiffany is asking, continually demanding something of someone who just continually has shown her throughout the entirety of the relationship that he's not that. And so now I hate her. Now I'm just kind of like, what do you want? Are you going to go like, okay. It would be as if someone, as I said already, got mad at me, was angry at me all the time for not speaking in Arabic to them. You know? I don't speak Arabic. I don't speak it. So you could stop demanding of me. I know you didn't hang out with me where I suddenly, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying, in this situation, it wasn't like, of course, I'm making a metaphor right now to like, if someone being mad at me for not knowing this language that it is as if I didn't have a whole relationship with someone speaking a language like Arabic and suddenly refused to speak it. And I have changed. Tiffany knew who Ronald was. He always spoke to her the language that is Ronald. Ronald didn't speak eloquently, have all these like active, ambitious goals. He didn't show her throughout the course of the relationship that he hit all of them. He has only shown her throughout the entirety of their relationship that he isn't able to provide and give her what she wants. And now at this point, it feels like abuse that we have to watch this woman get mad at him all the time about it. Stop picking on him. He's right. She is like at this point, a nagging, whatever, like little like snatch. Ronald, you're not doing this. Ronald, he's not going to ever do it. He's not going to ever do it. Even if he did one thing that in his mind was like good for his family, it's in his mind good for his family, and it would never be in your mind good enough. And wherever the truth lies somewhere in between. It's not for us to care. The reality is never going to be good enough for you. So keep it moving. I haven't even like looking at you guys. Yeah, you guys. I want to see like what you guys are saying. When I say I've been looking at you guys, I'm like on this rant of this and want to hear what you guys think about it. I will say Ronald keeps his house very clean and he's very loving to his kids. Yes, because I don't want me. Okay. I'm not saying Ronald's bad. I'm saying if I was going to be myself, Chris Farah, yes, Ronald isn't husband or father material for Chris Farah, so I understand how he could be considered not father or husband material for other people, including Tiffany. But Ronald is husband and father material, just not for me and not for Tiffany. Okay? Ronald, at his core, I think, is a good guy. I don't think he wants bad things for his family. I think in his mind and his psyche and his mindset and the challenges that he's faced and the culture that he's come from, it's very obvious who Ronald is. To me, at least. I never shared a bed with this person. So in my mind, why is it not obvious to Tiffany? Ronald is a selfish, lazy, good-for-nothing, spoiled bum. I don't have a problem with Ronald, but the hairs on my neck were raised when expecting to run the family. But that's how he was raised. That he should. I think Ronald lacks a lot of development that mixed with this culture. Yes. I think that he's also like a full-on Peter Pan things. I think that Ronald might have dealt with some trauma, loves, that have brought him to this place where he's, someone who's suffering from high addiction tendencies as well. This person is going through it. This person isn't a super healthy, stable, capable person. This person has gone through it a lot. And then Tiffany found this person, saw all of it, had a child with this person, married this person, fast forward to now is mad at this person for not being what she wants. Yeah, he never was. I feel like her added pressure of wanting him to be some ideal version of who she wants is nothing that actually behooves him. Because I can tell you, yes, I wish that Ronald had a job that paid him a significant amount of money. I wish that he had this ability to do that. And if he did, and if he had that, it would be better. And I think that he would also be able to provide for his children more. But Ronald never had that. I don't know if the added pressure and stress that she has put onto him to be like some fake version of a person that he's never been is going to help him at this juncture in his life. I think that it, again, makes him resent her and hate her and think, I'm not going to do any of it. I think that it's a toxic situation. Tiffany got pregnant and had a kid. She cannot throw stones, very responsible. Yeah, it does feel like Tiffany wanted so badly for Ronald to be responsible also as a parent so that she could get out of a little bit of the mess that she had found herself in. Because Tiffany got herself in a mess. No, I shouldn't say that. Tiffany isn't in a mess. Tiffany had Daniel and was a single mom, and she could have really led and at this point, like a super high functioning, healthy life where she raises her son and her in like a healthy, strong, positive way. But then what happened is she decides to start dating someone who's not right and lets her son, who is not this right man's biological son, have a relationship with him that is a father-son relationship. That's messy. It's a messy thing to do. Then this man continually shows her that he can't do it. He has hardcore addiction issues. He has gambling issues so far that it takes him out of the realm of where he's arrested in things. Okay. Criminal situations. She then falls in love with him, gets pregnant, and marries this person. And he relapses. And then she brings the whole family back there, and that's where you're at, where she's mad at him. Mad at him all the time for everything that he does and doesn't do. I mean, I think it's just like, he's obviously a person that is unwell, and, I wish the best for him, but it feels like abusive if I have to keep watching Tiffany, get mad at this person. Yeah. Ronald's the kind of guy who can't have a hard, good look at himself. Blaming has become a bodily function for him. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. But I'm going to go back now, Ramsterdam. What do you say about her? Okay, you do say this about her because this is what Mickey said. Tiffany got pregnant and she and a kid. She cannot throw stones. Very responsible. Ramsterdam goes, yes, I agree. And then, yeah, you're just making both points. But then Mickey says fell for Ronald, saying that he's alone, but she isn't. I get that. Ronald is the kind of guy who, yeah, okay, both of you are God. I get it. I feel that about Tiffany. Yeah, like I feel, yeah. Both of them are different. Sorry, Quasi. Ronald's somewhat alone because he has caused a lot of hurt to his family. He stole for them from his addiction. It's like, God, it's a messy situation. But the thing that it's been a messy situation, and Tiffany is the one that I think is supposed to be healthy enough to like get herself out of it. But if she's not, at least get her children out of it. At least get the one child that wasn't even supposed to be in the situation out of it, but she hasn't done it. Wait, I'm so mad. I can't do it. This is a thing where I'm just like, it scares me. It must scare me again because I have some sort of like projection of myself. Is it that I can see myself being in a situation, settling for someone and then wanting them to be something that they're not? And then, yeah, maybe. I'm like having really deep, reflective moments here. Angela and Skyla show up, honey. Angela's wearing one of her very colorful new rainbow style outfits from that boutique, that junior size boutique. Skyla and her are at a IV fertility place. We're now supposed to sit through a scene of more fake situations where we are being given the scene for the argument for Angela not have to do the one thing that she promised Michael and Michael's mom that she would do, which would be provide Michael an heir. Michael just wants an heir. He wants an heir. Angela wants the following. Not really an heir, but if it's an heir, she wants it to be someone who actually is an heir to her too, which means that it has to be an egg from her family, and she'd like to carry the child. Or one of her daughters. We actually can't even talk about one of her daughters because that one is like off TLC for good. So it's all on Skyla, but we all know Scotty exists. Please be up to speed. So for any reason, in very early seasons of 90 Day Fiancé and early Angela, we know that Angela has a daughter named Scotty. This is just obviously a breakdown, and I know that you like hardcore fans know this, but just if you're watching this, I do the hard work for us all, and I'm a journalist just like Natalie. That Angela had a daughter named Scotty. Scotty got in hardcore trouble with the law over child sexual abuse claims and went to prison and was released. So the minute that girl went to prison, I don't know why I said girl. I think I was going to say bitch. And then I just like said girl. We never talked about that person again, right? Like TLC was like, haha, never happened or whatever. Like I didn't know that Angela would even come back. But Angela came back and just had another daughter, and so we never talked about the first one again. She was pushed off and then we were like given Skyla. Okay, so all of this like, well, if Skyla doesn't want to give me the egg, we can't do anything about it. And we were all just like, no, yeah, well, okay. You have been raising Scotty's kids while Scotty's been in prison. So if anyone owes you anything, it's definitely not Skyla. It's definitely Scotty. But at the same time, if you don't want to have any more Scotty children because you're not quite sure what's happening in that DNA line, yours. I don't blame you. I love you guys. Popsicle dress. Her popsicle dress. Yeah. That was it was a popsicle dress. I'm so done with Angela, her shouting, her scolding, her mistreatment of Michael, and selfish demeanor. I know. Oh, you guys are talking so fast that I keep trying to wait. I bet Scotty would tote. Oh, I don't know what to tell you. Like Scotty needs probably any money she can possibly get. I don't know what Scotty's even doing for anything. Scotty has to be living in Angela's house. That's what I think about. Scotty has children, and all we see is Angela being literally like a school marm to like a bunch of kids. So some of those kids are Scotty's. I don't know which ones are Scotty's. I don't know which ones are Skyla's. Scotty's living in that house. We just don't see her, right? And a little side note, and this is gross, whatever, like through this whole like who are gonna get an egg thing, I was just like, Angela at this point, like, honey, get one of those grandkids, one of those granddaughters, like, they got some fresh eggs. Ew, I'm gross. But I will tell you, I'm a gross person. So at this fertility place, right, like these women are only so happy to like be like, have the doctor give like risk information so that they can be like, well, it's a risk. Well, everything is a risk, like side note is literally all of Angela's surgeries have risks, but okay. These risks are just not important, or this surgery is not important to either one of them. And so that's why these risks are overwhelming. But like, meanwhile, we have seen Angela at the reunion for this show. We've seen her, and here we are. I'm going to make sure we are on the same page. Are we on the same page? This person wants to make sure that she doesn't have risks for surgeries. I'm silent. Don't worry. I'm not going to have you freeze and like have to stare at that picture. But that's why we don't need to like, okay, girl, you're going to have as many surgeries as you want. And you're going to like pay for whatever you want. Now, that's just honest. That's honest to God, that's honest to Godness. Jay, no! Because why did I do this? Because I need you to know. Because you come here to know, and I need you to know. I need you to know. You'll think I want you not to know. Listen, I don't need you to know everything, but I need you to know that. That's a moment that happens because I don't know if you're going to watch the tell-all. And there's just going to be certain things that happen that you're just going to have to like understand as someone who's watching my life that I've had to see. Will it be uncensored, undiscovered? Oh. I never thought of that. I never thought of that, Jay. Oh my God, will it? I'm so sad. I don't know what to do. Oh, yes, I do. Thank you. Wash my eyes out with soap. Okay, so yeah, basically, the doctor's like, you are advanced in years. How do I say it? So you are liable for a lot of risks. And with Skyla, you have risks too, like ovary or, like overactive ovary syndrome. Not really that. Something like that. Now, here is the scoop. So, I'm open with my life. It's obvious, right? I've had weight loss surgery, so I can tell you all about that. And the other thing I've also done, my loves, is I've frozen eggs. So I pretty much have done the exact same thing that they're wanting Skyla to do. Obviously not give one of my eggs to make a baby with someone I don't want to have a baby with, nor was ever asked to tote, and that would be my own egg. But all I'm saying, obviously, is I know the process of egg retrieval, which is this. You go to a doctor, and they put, like an ultrasound up there, and they like see what's happening and how many eggs and like what's happening with the follicles. Maybe they go back the next month so they can see like, oh, okay, well, typically this is what's happening. And then they start to give you like drugs, right? And these drugs are drugs to hyperstimulate your ovaries, so you're making a big amount, and they're going to go in and then they're going to retrieve those eggs. Okay, that's what's happening. They have to give you the hormones in order to like increase your egg production. The process of getting the egg retrieval happens, and then everyone is going to have at least 2 to 3 days of discomfort because your ovaries are incredibly swollen. Okay, like like not the best. I'm not a doctor. Highsy wisies. Is that not obvious? So everything I'm telling you is like really giving you through like my own Chris Farah POV, and there could be many things wrong. But yeah, like you had all these hormones in you, to have a lot of eggs made, right? And then retrieved, and you have like what feels like the craziest PMS of your life. You are bloated. Yeah, you are bloated, big bloated, hard stomach, uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to move. It's couch time, It's not like super painful. in a crazy way. You just are just like, well, I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to go in my car and drive. I'm going to have 2 days on this couch, honey, where I'm just like a little bit of a beach whale. Now, what this doctor said that there is like 5% chance of this being incredibly intense to the point where the person goes to the hospital. Yeah, I didn't experience that, but I do know that what's happening, of course, there'd be those, not the hospital part, but of course you're going to have bloating and like cramps down there. That's what's happening. You are stimulating your ovaries to make a bunch of eggs so you can harvest them at one time and get out of there, you know? My ovulation hurts like hell. Is it anything like that, Chris Farah? I mean, it didn't feel painful as much as the discomfort was how incredibly bloated I was. Maybe a baker's dozen. I think you made a good decision. Oh, how many eggs did you store, Chris? Yeah. I have, God, I feel like I got like 17 out, maybe like 14 or 15. Maybe I got 17 or 18 out and 14 and 15 are frozen. Some, because if you get them out and then like maybe like a couple aren't like the best looking, if they like freeze the most viable ones. But then from this, I have obviously just the eggs frozen. And then so it would also be another account as like when I actually go in to defrost them and then add in the DNA of some other person, then like, you know, I'm not quite sure if every one of those eggs will be healthy, but I think that the majority of them should be. Was it pricey? Yeah. Yes. Because it's about 10 to 15 for the process. And then there's about an extra 2 to 5 for the drugs. The hormones, you're injecting yourself with hormones, and those are expensive. I mean, that's, yeah. Do you have to pay the time they are stored like rent? Yes. I bought a package for 5 years. Just like, I'm just like, yeah, I bought like literally a package for 5 years. It was not expensive though to store them, especially when I said how expensive it was for the actual process. I was thinking I think that maybe like 5 years was like 200 or something. Right at this point, I was like, well, yeah, just, was retrieval painful? No, not the actual process. I was out. I mean, like put you out, you know. I think maybe I had like a little blood or whatever, but like nothing crazy. No, it wasn't painful. Okay, so going back to 90 Day Fiancé, my booze. Okay, so my last cups, you know what, I realized I did all of the really good couples first, and I did all of the like boring couples last. There's no Brandon and Julia. We're gonna obviously end with Yara and Jovi. I only bring that up because I think that if I was to like actually think about what I should do in like content creation is like what I'm supposed to like probably like bookend the reviews with like the most dramatic couples, but like obviously I didn't. I started with them. So yeah, Yara and Jovi have come to this place where this is the aftermath of Strippergate, second Strippergate, which was their romantic Miami vacation that they brought their mom, and how Yara and Jovi went out to a beautiful dinner, but then it got ruined when Jovi tried to like hard insert his crazy strip club, addiction yearnings. I shouldn't say addiction, yearnings. I guess I'm missing something. I don't quite understand why he has to go to strip clubs, especially if he has a woman with him and she's not into it. It just feels like he was like muscle arming, like, let's go. Like, and she's like, oh, okay. And she, again, at dinner was like, and if I don't want to stay, we can leave. And he's like, yeah. And of course, what happens is they go to the strip club. She's like, okay. And she's like, and then she's like, huh. And then she's like, I want to leave. And he's like, what? We just got here. No, that's the messed up part. That's when Jovi should have been like, okay, take his beautiful wife out of the strip club. She doesn't want to be there anymore, honey. Go out on the town in Miami. Okay. But that isn't what happened. They get in a fight. She punches him, you know, and then the next morning she has a conversation with Miss Gwen, where Miss Gwen just has to hear what a horrible person that she's raised with absolutely no class and, you know, juvenile. is how I would describe it. Jovi-nile. Has anyone else done that? I'm so clever. So, okay, I'll move back. So I'm sorry. So then Miss Gwen says this, which was a soundbite to say, like when she first started this process, knowing that her son was going to marry this woman from afar, she was sort of like, well, what's Yara's intentions, blah, 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 and is she ready to get married? And now Miss Gwen realizes that Yara was the one that was like A-okay, and her own son is just trash. Okay, so that's one thing. And then Yara says it too, like, you know, everyone's always like, green card, like you did this for a green card, but she's like, I would happily move back to my home. This sucks. I feel alone. I feel like so out of place. I feel, you know, really obviously unhappy. And why would I want this? Just to be in America? No thanks. I'm not saying America isn't fun, but at the same time, I lived pretty great in my life. I don't mind my life. I like my life. You know, and it's the same kind of like, you know, like Asuelu liked his life. Asuelu wanted to get to America to like make money for his family. And I think that is something we're not talking about. I think that when Asuelu left Samoa to be with Kalani, it was probably said a lot like, I will come back, I will help you, I will send money, I will send money. But that's never what happened to the point that he had promised it. So maybe Asuelu's whole thing about wanting to move back to Samoa just means that he gets the pressure off his back to be in America and make money. In this situation, Yara's like, oh, I have my whole family back there, all of my friends. I live like a fabulous life. I'm chill. I want to go back there and like raise this baby. And Jovi's whole thing is like, you changed. When we were like dating in Europe, you drank and partied all the time. And now you never want to do that. And she's like, you want to drink and party all the time. You're the one that has to change. You have to grow up. You have a child now. And he's like, I don't want to change. I'm Yovi. So Yovi and Yara, it's, you know, it's a good conflict because I don't believe it. I feel like they're totally happy and in love, and they're just having this like amplified conflict to be on the show. But I think that they're just totally chill and happy. But it's a good one because I think that it can be really accessible to people. The answer is some sort of balance tipped in Yara's favor, a middle ground that is decidedly in Yara's camp, where this is what's provided. Yovi, I appreciate, this is what I feel like it is. Yovi, I appreciate that you want to go out and have fun and let loose. And I appreciate that you want me to go with you, that you want your wife to do this. It isn't like Yovi's like, I don't want my wife to go out and party with me and I'm going to go out with my dudes and you should just sit here with my wife. He wants her to. And Yovi and Yara is like, well, I'm a mom now and this and this and this. I get both. I'm like, Yara, Jovi this. Don't expect Yara to want to go out at a club until your baby is like 2. And by club, or I don't mean strip club, I truly mean bar, like a nice lounge bar. When your baby's 2, Yara, you will be going on date nights. And this is what happens. Both of you go to a nice restaurant and then you go to a bar or a lounge with like a little music where you can just let loose and have fun in a more elegant, upscale, adult environment. You both get your jollies, which is Yara wants to have a bougie existence and Jovi wants to have a good time. Now, a bougie person is not going to have a good time in a strip club. There are bougie strip clubs. I should say, maybe that's a naive thing, because I think that maybe there are bougie, like sexual burlesque clubs that like someone could go to and have like a flirty experience or like a sexually charged experience. But I think that what Jovi is used to isn't high-class, elegant, sexual or sensual experience burlesque clubs. This middle ground of having that old-time connection that we are young still, which they are incredibly, and having fun together, sharing these connective times of fun are the experiences that a couple should have together, especially if they had them before. So it's like, that's the middle ground, right? It's firmly in Yara's camp because she's right and she has a discerning quality. And I know from like my third party view of these two people, and because I trust my opinion, that, Yovi's not going to get anyone better than Yara. For him, for his discerning, like she's discerning and she has a grace and style about her. And Jovi doesn't have any of that. None, so he would only be behooved by having such a presence and woman in his life. It's true. Yara does really enjoy being a mom. I completely agree. And I think that, I want her just to hear that her husband wants to have fun times with her. That's what he wants. I want her to like have a way of maturely hearing that and then giving him a moment of what he wants at the core. However, if he came to her and was like, no, what I truly want is strip clubs, then she could easily be like, oh, well, bye. I don't know what to tell you. Bye. That's not what I want. I don't want my man going to strip clubs anymore. Okay, I know that this just says babies are exhausting, but I thought it was going to say boobies are exhausting. Like if this was your way of being like, I can't go to strip clubs like Jovi does. Boobies are exhausting. That dinner was fun for both of them. I know. So I guess it's like, yeah, that dinner was fun for both of them. And I want them to have those moments of like being at a fancy dinner or being at a situation where they're comfortable and having fun. Because he has to understand that like the environment for them both to have that is not a strip club. And if you ever tell someone that they should go somewhere with you, but that they could easily leave and you will leave, if that person doesn't like it, the minute that person says something, then you have to stick by that contract. Don't ever do that to your friend. Like, this is a PSA, right? Like, we all know that. Like, if you are like, now here's the thing. I say to a friend at this, I don't want to, like make you all feel like you should have codependent relationships with friends of being like, if you leave, I leave. But if you make a promise to someone that they are going to go somewhere with you, only under the confines that if that person isn't enjoying themselves, they can leave, that you probably would be the one leaving with them, then you have to commit. Come on. Let's face it, Jovi has alcohol issues. I wonder if I think that, that's another part of it. Because you're saying that he maybe got drunk and wasn't able to like be the person that he wanted to be. Like maybe if they even were at like a bar or a lounge, like a fancy one, if Jovi got drunk in that situation, maybe they still would fight over something that would happen. I don't know. I don't know. True, Ram. Who has money to have nannies constantly, and even so, Yara wants to be hands-on. Yeah, I don't want people to like think that I think that you go on to have nannies constantly. That's why I feel like, okay, that's why I said, first of all, the child would be 2, so that you would at least feel comfortable having like, hopefully like a babysitter at some point. Chris, you should open a counseling office. Oh my God, just like Ronald's uncle. This drama is so lighter, easier to watch than what's going on with Tiffany and Ronald around. I know. Yeah, absolutely. Because I think it's also just like, they like each other. I don't think they don't love each other. Like, I don't think there's like actually any threat in their relationship or marriage. That's why I also kept feeling like Yara's just constant, like, I'm so mad at Jovi for leaving me to go to work. It's like, that's not even a viable argument. You're mad at your husband to go to his job that he's always had, that you've known he's had, that like has this, I know, very intense schedule, but he's always been having it. It's the opposite of the Tiffany conversation. Yara, you've been knowing who this person is. Yara, this person's always had this job. Also, Yara, literally any other girl in this whole cast would be so happy to have, again, I've said this already, their husband have a job that like, A, brings them away for a long time, but also B, pays them as much as Jovi's job pays. Anyway, so it's never made sense for Yara to be like mad at this because she like has been knowing what's happening. Yep. Comorbidity. Como or Biddy. They have no story if they are happy. Oh, yeah, I want to go back to say this is what he was the beginning. They needed to say this. They needed to have something to argue about. They have no story if they are happy. You're absolutely right. What does Lupe say? Wait, pro show. So proud of you. Some people think life is everlasting. Oh, I missed something. Oh, God. Okay, here. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I think. Wait, I gotta go ahead. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I think so too, Empress. I don't know what the Empress said. However, he reminds me of older men I met in rehab. They just don't want to stop till later in life. Oftentimes, it's too late. Oh. Well, my loves, I don't know. I don't know. Jovi's drinking is its own issue. Yeah. I can see that. I wonder. It also begs the question now that I'm thinking about it. Like, I wonder how much drinking Jovi does on the boats, like late at night. Or if he's like working on underwater stuff with a bunch of dudes like on rigs and stuff for months at a time. And they're just like probably so bored. And not much to do like when like the workday is complete. And I just wonder, like, there must be just like so many nights that just are whiskey nights. Oh, God. Yeah. I hate it when I dismiss the lies. They're my faves. You didn't dismiss? Who's got here? Oh, Lisa? Oh, Lisa. Yeah. Sorry, I'm late. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I'm having fun. He said they aren't allowed to drink, so that's why he does so much when he's home. Oh, I missed that. But is that true? And also, okay. Like, maybe they're not allowed to drink the morning up, but are you saying they don't have little flasks that at night when you're in your bunker, you don't just like go to bed with, like, how would they know? So they smell it? They have like search dogs? I mean, I don't know. I guess that's so interesting. Oh, ciao, my love. Ciao, Connie. I have to go. Always nice seeing you. Nice seeing you, my little Italian love. Okay, so yeah, that's all I have. That's all I have with them. Wait, right? Did I make that? They just like, yeah. They just had a moment on the beach where they were just like, you change, or you change, or I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna change. Okay. So, sorry, a little sneeze. Anyway, my loves, what else is happening? Anything else we should talk about? We've come to the end of this. You know what I've noticed, which is annoying to me, is that when I watch on Discovery Plus, I don't get to see the scenes for the next one. When is the tell-all? You're like, we should be asking you. And I don't know, because I am the one obviously just to do that picture. But then obviously we're gearing up for the tell-all. So at some point it's going to happen, but when does it happen? I would like to know. It'd be bad if they went into emergency situation and they have to save the ship from flooding or something. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Mike, Nat and the Rat. Ha ha ha. He's drinking one away. The single life is going to start soon. Okay. Yeah. And Natalie's on it. Yes. You talk about Juliana asking to use the bathroom at Mike's house. Oh my God, Lupe. Yes. Lupe, I try. Okay. Yes. Mike and Natalie were the first couple, honey. And I mean, yes, I called that scene the best scene of the season. And I couldn't believe it. And Juliana, again, I'm glad you brought it up, because that is how I'd like to end this live, is like, again, that was the best thing. I mean, that's the whole scene that I mean, we all watched that scene being like, the cat, her, the headband. Can I have a few words? Wondering what the words are going to be. Mike just being like, we're good. No, we're good with this words. No, I don't need the words. I have enough words in this mind. So you can take your words and you can leave, just like, and also again, if I could have changed one thing about that scene, and I mean the one thing that I could have changed, I wanted the last moment just to have her be like, Mike, this has always brought me luck. just like Elizabeth Taylor in the White Diamonds commercials. Take them off. This has always brought me luck. Juliana drive away with the jewel, Natalie in her car. That would have been it. I think that if that would have been it, I think that this live would have been like, well, guys, that was the best thing we've ever seen. I don't think it's going to get better. I think I'm going to end here and just be like, you know, let's talk about Angela again. I can't get over that lady. Okay, grits and wavy. You really want more, Angela? You want more? Fine. Fine. But let's just never say I didn't do anything for you. You hear me? Never say it. I just need to say, yeah, my loves, she got really, really big basketball, hard, very big. They don't look even. I mean, crazy ass implants. Look at everyone's face. Look at Sean Robinson's. Look at Andre and Libby's. Take into account what's happening here. First of all, I don't even know who is this girl in like the ponytail and the green off to the side. Who is that? Is that Skyla? Is that Skyla? Oh, it must be. And both of them just got matching ponytail extensions. Oh, that's what it is. Oh my God. Okay, well. Did she get tats on the areola area? I mean, that's, yeah, maybe. Producer probably got a big Botox like cast or she's made for TV. Oh, sure. I wonder, like, sometimes I'm like, I wonder if there's a producing, you're like, please take this off the scene. Okay. I wonder if there are finder's fees for reality stars. Like, I don't think so. But there should be. Like, if I'm a reality show producer and I'm the person that casts someone, and that person ends up being like a show horse, I feel like I deserve some sort of like percentage, not to be taken from the star, but to be taken from the production company and network. For instance, I think Yolanda should be given a lot of money for bringing Erica Jane Girardi onto Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, because now look what Real Housewives gets to do and how much money and how many viewers they are having because of Yolanda Hadid and the work that she did. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. If it's Skyla, she is used to her mom. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. You're all, yeah, you know what you're all saying? I just like didn't realize that was her. It looks nothing like her, obviously, until I realized that what I'm looking at is a woman with the same hairdo as Angela. Then I was like, oh, okay, I guess they both were just like, give us the ponytail, straight ponytail. Here, high-ass Dreama Genie, straight ponytail with hair wrapped around. There's some, yeah, like from the Meghan McCain broke down Feline's Basement school of view style hairstyles. I didn't even have to tell you. Dominique with a Q. Dominique with a eek. I'm not surprised with Angela. She has been on so many talk shows prior to 90 Day, being a hot mess with Scotty. Oh, absolutely. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to do it. She knows a set very well, honey. And she knows how to make a very big scene, violent scene, big ass scene, drama scene for them cameras to get. Yes, all of it. Yes. There is a couple coming up on the other way that looks interesting. Oh, yeah. And then Sumit and Jenny are back. Oh, yeah, I see this already. Sorry. Do you see the woman with the curly hair? I think that lady will be the next Stephanie. Oh, I did see that. That's so funny. I know. I want to like show that preview and then have like a live reaction to it. I used to find Angela funny. This season, I can't stand her abusing Michael, her disgusting flirting with the doctor, and the bathtub stuff. Ick. Yeah, monkey, I agree with you. I agree with you. I did used to think she was funny, and a lot of people early on were like, she's not funny. She's incredibly abusive. And I just sort of, if I'm going to be honest with you, was kind of like, yeah, but she's also like really like sometimes really warm and to people. And sometimes I allowed that abuse to be blinded by the fact that I sometimes would see, I feel like joy with other people and her, that I feel like they weren't threatened by her. But I think that I just wanted to see that because I liked Angela at the time. And, it's hard. Generally finally flips out on Submit. Oh, I can't wait. Are you doing any stand-up comedy shows soon? Oh, no. No, my boo. Are you watching Darcy and Stacey? You know what? I thought about it, but no. Because I'm watching Big Brother. That's 3 nights a week. And I haven't watched any of what Wall calls 90-day vacation ban. I sort of want to watch that. Angela's just overexposed. Yes, she has no integrity. Absolutely. We need some fresh meat. I agree. Next week, 8/13, my dish says bonus scene. So I think tell all maybe week after, Lisa coming in with that journalistic integrity. You aren't missing much. Yeah, I don't want to see Darcy and Stacey's faces at this time. Angela's taking her 90-day persona too serious. Oh, I know. Also, I feel like she thinks she's like really infallible, but you're not. Oh my God, are you watching Love Island? I'm completely addicted. So Love Island is happening after Big Brother. But so no one's watching Big Brother, everyone's just watching Love Island. And I think that I you know what, fine, I kind of have to. And I wish I would but I can see like exactly what nights it's on after. Because again, Big Brother's 3 nights a week. It takes up so much of my time. Time to move on to some new ones, right? I feel uncomfy seeing Darcy's kids. They are now fully going the reality TV direction. Oh, absolutely. She's hawking their cameos. There is no doubt that, like, Darcy is like a Kim Zolciak. You know what I mean? And the way those kids, when those daughters are going to be. Love Island is 6 nights a week. Gabriella, do you watch it too? Mickey, do you watch it too? It's 6 nights a week. So it's like Big Brother, like there's constant updates. Do you guys love Love Island? Love Island comes on like 5 nights a week. Crazy. I watch pure trash. My dish timers are a dumpster. 2 hours on a Sunday. I'm obsessed. Are you guys all into Love Island? Honey, I'm on you right now. If you are watching Love Island, you tell me right now in these comments and when this video is uploaded by, obviously a heart and an island. Obviously, that's the emojis to tell me that you're into that. That's obvious. Okay, I'm gonna get going. It's 3:15. And I've been on for a long time. And sometimes I feel like when these lives are like 2 hours, and you guys also tell me this. That's another question. Are you guys like, oh my God, when you click on a video, like, this person talked for an hour and 45 minutes. Like, is that overwhelming to people to be like, how could I even start this? I don't know. I'm going to watch it tonight. Okay. Is it the first season? I think it's not the first season. I'm not quite sure, but it's definitely airing on CBS, probably Peacock. Oh no, it's Paramount Plus. If you are someone that does the streaming stuff. Season 5 of Love Island is the best. I follow Kedar Howard, and he sometimes talks for 4 hours. About what? Is he hoarse afterward? No, your lives are great, Chris. Okay, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. No, I was on hold with Energy Company for a couple of hours a day. That is boring. Oh, you know what's so funny? Side note is I had a friend who like posted Haram that she was on hold for Delta yesterday for 5 hours. Hours. It's so weird because sometimes I'm like, Delta, like you are a huge business, like. And we're in like a stay-at-home economy. Like you can't get some people to be like from their homes, like picking up the service phone calls and getting things done with like a computer dispatch to your main network. Like let's hire some peeps. Let's get like, who is going to like, that's a long time to be on hold. Okay. I love you guys so much. Thank you for like always answering my comments. You guys like the long videos. I like people talking here. So I appreciate that. Love Island got a lot of fanfare. So, but it is a reality show. It's a reality show that has to do with love. I don't know anything else about it, but I'm assuming that there has to be some voting off involved or something like that to get things moving. And if there's going to be 5 nights a week of content, there has to be, like, I'm assuming, drama. Okay. He's just very talkative, and it's insane. And sometimes in between he sings and dances. I mean, this person sounds like my kind of person. Okay. All right, my loves. Okay, so let's do our week. We're here for it. It's Monday. I want you to have just the best time. On the docket, you have for content with me in it. Thank you so much, by the way, for going with the flow that I didn't do this live last night. I had a full day, a daddy-daughter day with my cousin and my uncle and my dad. And let's be honest, it was just a day of day drinking. And I got home and I was like, I don't have the capacity to be in it to win it for you guys. I was just drunk. Okay, so that's what happened there. No, it's just tipsy. You know, I wasn't driving. But yeah, no, we had like a wine tasting thing. So as I came home, like, oh, I just can't, like, you know, have like coherent thoughts for you. I think there would be a lot of like cloudy eye, kind of like looking off into space and just like eating snacks, you know, while I'm talking for like 4 hours, which I guess is a whole thing now. So Say What with Wa and I is going to happen Wednesday, probably at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is on Just Call Me Wa's channel. It's going to be, it's our show that we do together, a pop culture talking show. And just like pop culture events that appeal to both of us and that we want to talk about or wax poetic about. On, again, Just Call Me Wa's channel, 6 p.m. Wednesday, Pacific Standard Time. And then you can meet me back here on my channel Friday at 1:30 Pacific Standard Time for Following, which is my pop culture, but also just everything show where I get to just tell you everything that I'm obsessed with of the week. So it's products, it's stories, it's anything, truly. So shows, celebrity stuff, sometimes like businessy or fashiony stuff. That is on the docket. And then we start again next week with all the other stuff. I'm interested to see like if next 90 day, if next 90 day for Sunday is a clip show, I'm going to wonder like how I'm going to like be able to enjoy doing that, but we'll see. So, are we reviewing the show? My love, I did. I talked about this show between the hours of 1 minute and 1 hour and the 35 minutes of this video. So I did. Would you mind rewatching? Having said that, yeah, so those are the shows that will happen content-wise for me in this week. I recommend anyone, if you want to watch some other stuff, you know what's happening? I'm a proponent and fan and supporter of the Hollywood Fringe Theater Festival, what happens in Hollywood every year. And one of the things that, it's a theater festival. It's very fun. It's very fringy. This year it's happening in a virtual space and a live space, depending on what the mandates are, because they're changing constantly in Los Angeles County. But you can watch shows virtually. And I would really love it if some of you guys checked out hollywoodfringe.org. And this week is previews for a lot of shows, and you can get free tickets to watch virtually. People put up art in a time that's been very awkward and very stressful and very scary. There are people right now that are just like, oh, this is crazy, but like, we'll put up this weird black box show that we've been working on and let's just see what happens. And it's hard to do something in the void. So showing up and supporting what you can would be great. And there is just a breadth and depth of options of shows for you to see. For instance, I'm seeing on Tuesday night a show that my friend Lila Abdo's doing. It's called The Tribe, and it is a improv and scripted hybrid show of Arab Americans doing comedy together, which I'm really excited about. And I don't really know anything else about it, again, because it has a improv nature to it. So that's something I'm tuning in to watch personally. I'm not involved in it, other than the fact that this person is a scholarship winner of the Diversity Scholarship at the Hollywood Fringe Festival, and your girl is one of the co-founders of the program. So, but this goes into what I always end everything I do on YouTube with, which is that I try and say for you to take care of yourselves and others, and you stand up for what you believe, and you make art. And I believe that art is important and vital in this world. I want to take care of myself by taking in the art and having that moment, because the highest goal of art is to, I think, make us have a reaction, to make us feel something. Sometimes it's a feeling of self-reflection. Sometimes it's a feeling or an understanding or knowing that wasn't there previously because we've seen a version of ourselves in the mirror or something. Theater, an old school idea of theater was like holding up a mirror to society, So I think that by enriching yourself in arts, that's taking care of you. But then by experiencing and by supporting other people's art, you take care of others. It's like in this realm, it's a little touch of everything that I'm saying, right? So yeah, that's hollywoodfringe.org. There's a breadth and depth of programming. I'm talking hundreds of shows. So you can find something you like, maybe from like a weird, I should have probably like given you examples, and maybe I can think about doing that later. And maybe there's like a weird Shakespeare retelling or a modern adaptation of something that you've always loved, or maybe a musical or something that appeals to you. That's hollywoodfringe.org. Look up the preview shows. A lot of them are going to be free. And that's that. So yeah, other than that, my loves, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Chris L. Farah. The L is for Lebanese. I've appreciated all the super chats that you guys given me. It's so incredibly generous of you. I'm so really thankful that you would take your time and energy to be in the space with me, to give me these comments, to like this video, to describe, to show up, and then also like giving me any of your hard-earned money. Like that's incredibly gracious and generous, and I appreciate that. It's not necessary, but I do feel it. I appreciate it. Welcome to Venmo me, and that's the bottom of the page as well. So having said all that, Instagram and Twitter, private Facebook group I mentioned, Vanity Farah at the top of the show, where I sometimes make petty remarks and do postings, but I always do tell people when I'm about to go live, because the notification system on YouTube is what it is. I love all of you. I'm very into you. Can you tell? I have a crush on you. I've had a crush on you for a minute. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. As we already said, but it's how I end the episodes. Take care of yourselves and one another. Stand up for what you believe, and you make art. Okay? I love you and have a great week. I'll see you later, boos. Bye.